Alright guys, so we left off with part 1 of this video talking about how to add and subtract radicals. And just as radicals have to have the same radicands and indexes to be considered like terms or like radicals, exponential terms must have the same bases and exponents if they are to be combined. Now you're already familiar with this using variables. So you already know, for example, that we could not add x squared plus x. We can't combine them because they have different variables being raised to different exponents. Well, we're going to look at some examples where our base is not a variable. Our base might actually be a number, like 3 squared plus 3 squared. But in order to combine those, we have to have the same bases being raised to the same exponents. So these could be combined, others could not. So let's start by simplifying this. 2 groups of 3 to the 16th plus 3 to the 16th. Now, notice that I did say groups of. This is multiplication, and this sometimes throws people off because they're like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. Remember that this is a term. Terms are separated by addition and subtraction. They are not separated by multiplication. So this is a term. So I'm going to rewrite this in a way that might make it a little easier for you. I'm going to write 2 groups of 3 to the 16th. And then how many groups of 3 to the 16th do I have over here? Hopefully you said 1 group of 3 to the 16th. Now, what if I didn't have 3 to the 16th? What if this was just a variable? What if I had 2 instead of groups of 3 to the 16th? I had 2 smiley faces and I was adding 1 smiley face. Well, what would I do? My smiley face wouldn't change. What changes is the number of groups that I have. So 2 smiley faces plus 1 smiley face equals 3 smiley faces, or 2 groups of smileys plus 1 group of smileys equals 3 groups of smileys. So what we're doing here, our variable, our base and our exponent is not going to change. What we're going to add is the coefficients, just like we did before. So I have 2 groups of 3 to the 16th plus 1 group of 3 to the 16th. I now have 3 groups of 3 to the 16th. Again, this multiplication symbol seems to trip people up. So if you want to rewrite that so that you don't have this dot or this X here, and maybe you just have parentheses instead, I personally think that's easier. For me, it denotes that there is a separation here, and I'm not changing my base and my exponent. All I'm changing is the leading coefficients. That's what I'm combining. And that multiplication symbol just, in my mind, doesn't help me see that. So parentheses tend to work better for me. You may not have a problem with that at all. Again, for me, I like parentheses over the multiplication symbol. I also like to read that as groups of. 2 groups of plus 1 group of equals 3 groups of. All right, so when we finally simplify that, we have 3 groups of 3 to the 16th, right? Well, we know that these are the same bases, and when I am multiplying bases, the exponents don't have to be the same. When I'm multiplying bases, if you remember, when I had like 3 squared times 3 cubed, that was equal to 3 to the 5th. When I'm multiplying bases, since exponents are repeated multiplication, the exponents don't have to be the same. So 3 to the 1st times 3 to the 16th is 3 to the 17th. Again, I could write this out. 3 to the 1st times 3 to the 16th. 3 times 3 times 3. I am not going to write that 16 times, but so forth and so on. Altogether, I'm going to have 3 to the 17th. And the reason that I could combine those was because they had the same base. So we did 2 different things here. First, we added. In order to add, we had to have bases and exponents be the same. Then we multiplied. And in order to multiply, all that needs to be the same as the base. Let's try to simplify this. 5 groups of 4 to the 3rd plus 3 groups of 2 to the 7th. The first thing I'm going to do is rewrite that with parentheses. 5 groups of 4 to the 3rd and 3 groups of 2 to the 7th. And remember that we said in order to add or subtract exponential terms, we have to have bases and exponents the same. We have a base 4 and a base 2. Those are not the same, so you might think, it's impossible. I can't do this one, we're done, no answer, and we move on. But there is a way to rewrite 2 to the 7th so that it has a base 4, or there's a way that we can rewrite the base 4 so that it has a base 2. So we can change the bases. So we're actually going to change this 4 to the 3rd. 4 to the 3rd is 4 times 4 times 4, right? And 4 is just 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. So if we wanted to rewrite 4 to the 3rd with a base 2, we could rewrite that as 2 to the 6th. So you'll see that here, that 4 to the 3rd can be rewritten as, maybe you can't see it here because I wrote right over the top. Let me erase my work so you can see that here. Was rewritten as 2 squared to the 3rd, or 2 to the 6th, which is what I had written down. Changing these both to parentheses. 5 groups of 2 to the 6th and 3 groups of 2 to the 7th. So yay, we have the same base. We can add them now, right? Not exactly. In order to add these two terms, we have to have the same base being raised to the same exponent. And now our exponents are not the same. But I can rewrite 2 to the 7th in a way that will allow me to add that. So I'm going to rewrite 2 to the 7th as 2 to the 1st times 2 to the 6th. So 2 times 2 times 2. If I had 7 of those 2's to the 7th, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I can rewrite that as 2 to the 6th. There's my 2 to the 6th times 2 to the 1st. So I have 3 times 2 to the 1st times 2 to the 6th. And now I can simplify by taking 3 times 2. So what I end up with is 5 groups of 2 to the 6th and 6 groups of 2 to the 6th. Now that I have my bases and my exponents the same, I can add those. And when I do, I get 11 groups of 2 to the 6th. Now you may be thinking, Mrs. Harbin, why don't we just multiply 4 to the 3rd times 5 and multiply 3 times 2 to the 7th and then just get a number as our answer? Well, all we're trying to do right now is practice the steps of simplification. Even though we have just numbers and no variables, eventually we're going to need to use these same steps to solve problems that also have variables. And when we have variables, we can't just plug that into our calculator and hit enter and get a number. So we're practicing the steps of simplification to combine like terms. Now in the previous example, I ended up with 3 times 3 to the 16th, where my bases were the same, so I could combine them some more using our properties of exponents. Here, I don't have bases the same, and there's no way to rewrite 11 with a base 2. So I am finished at this point. I do not want a final numerical answer. I'm just working with the properties of exponents to add and subtract like terms. All right, let's try to simplify this one. 5 to the 4x plus 2 to the 2x plus 3 to the 11th power minus 3 to the 10th power. I'm going to put parentheses here again because it just helps me to see, for me mentally, I can visualize that as one term better than with this dot here. So the first thing that I want to try and do before I can add any of these is get like terms. Right now, I can't add or subtract any of these because none of them have the same bases being raised to the same exponent. Now, I'm going to start by rewriting this. Remember, 4 to the x is the same thing as 2 times 2 to the x, or 2 squared to the x. So if I can rewrite this one, I'll have like bases. So let's start there. So I'm going to change the 4x to 2 squared x. Okay, and based on our properties of exponents here, 2 squared x is the same thing as 2 to the 2x. 2 to the 2x. So I'm going to deal with just these things here. So I have 5 groups of 2 to the 2x, and it doesn't say this, but I have one group of 2 to the 2x. So I know that I can combine these here. 5 groups of 2 to the 2x and 1 group of 2 to the 2x equals 6 groups of 2 to the 2x. Again, I just like parentheses so much better than these dots here. Now over here, I didn't really deal with the right side of my equation, but I can rewrite this 3 to the 11th. 3 to the 11th power is 3 to the 10th times 3 to the 1st. That's 3 to the 11th power. So I have 3 to the 10th times 3 to the 1st, or you can say I reversed it here. So 3 groups of 3 to the 10th minus 1 group of 3 to the 10th. And 3 groups minus 1 group is 2 groups of 3 to the 10th power. All right, let's look at that simplified. So I have 6 groups of 2 to the 2x and 2 groups of 3 to the 10th power. And at that point, it doesn't look like there's anything else that I can do to simplify that. I can't rewrite 3 to the 10th as a base 2 using properties of exponents, and I can't rewrite this as a property of exponent, but I can rewrite 6 groups of 2 to the 2x as 3 times 2 times 2 to the 2x plus 2 times 3 to the 10th. So we're simplifying by removing the factor of 2 from 6 and applying the product property of exponents here. We get 3 groups of 2 to the 2x plus 1 plus 2 groups of 3 to the 10th. So this part didn't change here. Okay, but we were able to combine these. 2 to the 1st and 2 to the 2x is the same thing as 2 to the 2x plus 1. So a lot of different properties that we're putting into play here. If you remember what I said in 7.1 and 7.2, you were going to need a really strong understanding of exponents and the properties of exponents as we work to tackle these bigger problems and simplify these bigger problems. And the same is true. This is a pretty complicated problem in the fact that there were multiple steps. But if you have a solid understanding of the properties of exponents and like terms, then this should not be too difficult for you. If you are totally baffled by everything that we did here, make sure you write down questions. Where did we lose you? Which part did you not understand? And we'll go back and try to strengthen that foundation in your properties of exponents so that you can add and subtract exponential terms. All right, guys, today we added and subtracted, not rational, we added and subtracted radical and exponential expressions using like terms and the properties of exponents to help us simplify our exponential expressions so that we can add them. If you guys have any questions, be sure to ask me. Write those down in your notes, and I'll see you next class.